seated on the upstairs of carriage 2 and looking out the window. So I'm seated in a spot that's facing the direction of travel, and you can see here that there are 2 seats that are opposite, and they're facing backwards. Again, the seats are all fixed direction, I believe. Or are they? Yes. Yeah. And
all the trains in Sydney, suburban trains, you can change
yes,
the seats.
I know.
But the trains from Newcastle, from Kiama and Lithgow, and you're on them for about 2 or 3 hours. Fixed seats.
Aren't the
not
older
reversible.
Are the older intercity ones, they're the ones that you can change the direction of seat, or are they fixed?
Yeah, as I say, it's silly.
Do they move? The
Yes.
ones in the old trains?
Yeah.
They do move, don't they?
Yeah.
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 Yes.
So, this is where they keep them.
Oh, okay.
New place. New
So
depot.
is this the depot?
Depot, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
This is in the main depot up here.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Come across so that you can...
No, I got
there's
it.
a lot
Yeah,
of-
the lot of
lot of
trees. Yeah. I find that all the way up. I say, oh, damn it, the trees are in the way.
Yeah.
This is actually my first trip up north. I usually go south.
Very,
so-
very big facility, yeah.
Oh, wow. That would have been a good shot, the one with all the trains lined up. But I
Yes.
just couldn't get it because of the
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah, the minister.
Is this a quiet carriage? Is this a quiet carriage? Or is it not?
No,
Oh,
this is just a talking carriage.
okay.
I think the
I always get like
quiet carriages
yeah.
are the
At the ends, are they?
yeah.
Yeah, I always like pay attention to it because in Melbourne they have the same thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just pay attention.
Yes, this was the biggest disappointment.
The seats.
The fixed seats.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah. They have only one toilet every 4 carriages.
yeah.
Whereas I think the Intercity has
Well,
one at the end of each. Shouldn't they?
Because of there's less seats in these than in the ones that we've already got. They have to have 10 carriages on to have the same number of seats,
Yeah.
whereas our other trains have 8. It's, yes, it's and they wanted the driver to do all the work. They have no guard because they said the Melbourne trains only have a driver, but that's only metropolitan.
Yeah.
These are country trains, and
Yeah.
you need the extra person in case something goes wrong. Also, too, you can't expect the driver of these long distance trains to get out and put the wheelchairs on.
Yes.
And many of the stations are unstaffed.
Yeah.
There's no staff there to put them on.
Yeah.
The drivers are there to work them on their own.
There's
Your new ones in Melbourne.
I don't come from Melbourne, I come from Sydney.
Oh, okay.
But I don't travel north, I usually travel south.
The
So.
new ones in Melbourne, they're opening a new line next
Yes,
year.
I actually went to the Metro
Like
pop-up.
when the driver drives till he gets to South Yarra, and then he switches it onto the automatic, and the train drives itself through.
It's on autopilot?
Till it comes out at South Kensington,
Okay.
and then he takes control again. The reason it is that they've got glass along the platforms like the Sydney Metro,
Yeah.
and a human being can't stop precisely so that the doors match.
Yeah.
So you have to have computer drive. So they will be they'll run through the new section. They've already tested them.
Yeah, I know they're testing them at the moment. Cause, I'm going back down to Melbourne because I'm going to see. I want to have a look at the stations. Like they have a competition that's running, and I thought, oh, fat chance I'm going to win that. But they have a VIP day where you can actually go on the test.
So underground,
Yeah.
the 5 stations underground.
Yeah, I know there's 5 stations.
Will be like the Sydney Metro.
Well, the only
train
difference
drives itself.
No, it's not a driverless train apparently.
Oh no, you drive. You
put it on auto.
You drive.
Yeah.
They drive from Pakenham to South Yarra, then they switch to automatic because they can only stop precisely with the doors with the computer doing it. The computer.
Okay. So you're saying it's not like a driverless train, but it's it's autopilot.
He sits. It's on auto going through the underground.
Oh, okay. All right.
And when he gets to Footscray, he takes control.
Oh,
again.
I see.
And they go on. They go on to Sunbury.
Yeah. Okay.
Very long run. Sunbury, Melbourne, Pakenham.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I didn't hear about that. I thought it was, they call it a metro, but it's not really a metro because it's not driverless. There's still a driver there. But I didn't realise there was an autopilot at certain points.
That's the only way you can get the doors to
line up
near the screen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's very hard for a human being to be so precise. The computer is.
Okay, interesting. I'll have to ask them about that.
I last time I was down there in April this year, they were testing him on a stretch out at Cheltenham.
Right.
And you could watch the driver sitting there like that, and all the engineers were with him, and the train would come in and stop precisely at the chalk mark on the station. I mean, they didn't have the glass on the station, but it was they chalked the marks, and the computer stopped them exactly on the mark.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to visit.
Very nice trains, those new ones down there.
They are actually. I want to go. I'm going down there probably next week, and I was really interested in their metro because there's a lot of eyesore buildings popped up there. So I went to the pop-up store there and asked all sorts of questions like, why aren't Sydney getting their trains from Victoria? You make your own trains. Why do we have to import ours?
Yeah,
it's a very controversial.
We always made our own trains here. There's a factory in Newcastle built. There's 2 in Newcastle built trains here.
It makes sense because you're a steel city, so.
and some of the XPT trains that run through from Sydney to Melbourne, the final group of those were built at Dandenong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they and they're 160k like the.
Are they the new? Is it CAF trains?
Which one?
The CAF trains at Civicity, I think they're called. The ones, the XPTs that are the replacement XPTs.
Oh yes.
Are they the ones made? They're not made in Dandenong, are they?
They've got one already.
Yes.
They come out with nothing inside.
Okay.
And then they take them off the ship and they take them to a factory at Auburn to put all the seats
so
and
it's
everything.
value adding.
It's only a little bit of work, but the main train comes from Spain.
Okay, so the tube is imported, the tube itself, but the internal pieces
fit out
is actually okay, I get it now.
They have a buffet like the XPT.
Yeah, but there's no sleepers in the new trains apparently, which is only a problem because I travel a lot between.
No sleeper.
Yeah, because I travel a lot between Sydney and Melbourne. So it'd be interesting, but if the seats are really comfortable and there's a lot of leg room available, it's fine.
The Victorian government at the time wouldn't let them run beyond Albury until they put better seats in, and they insisted that they'd have a sleeping car on the night train. You can use it as a day carriage.
Of course,
too.
they have to be able to convert it.
Yes, sleepers up,
but hopefully they won't be fixed seating, fixed directions.
But those sleeping cars, the deluxe sitting, and the extra engines, the motor carriages at the front, they were built at Dandenong.
Oh, okay.
So all the country link trains that run to Canberra, Armidale, and
they're the Explorers, not the XPTs.
Explorer.
Yes, yeah.
they were built at Dandenong.
Oh, okay. I did hear something about the new regional trains in Victoria being based on the design of the XPT.
Yeah.
So they look very similar on the outside, which is good.
The Velocity.
Yes, they call it the
train.
Velocity. Yes, yeah.
They are exactly the same shell
Yeah.
as the Explorer.
Okay.
It's just that Victoria fits them out differently.
Yeah. The seating's
But,
very different. Yeah.
But the Albury trains were supposed to have a buffet, and I don't think they fitted a buffet yet. And the Warrnambool train was supposed to have a buffet.
Yeah, there was a problem with the Warrnambool train, wasn't it? Yeah. With
It's a long trip without refreshment.
yeah, the problem with the regional train fit out because I went on the Ballarat line recently, and aren't the seats in a fixed direction?
Yeah.
It was awful, and the tray table wouldn't stay up. There was a seat there, and why is nobody sitting here? It's because the tray table, even though it had the little lock thing,
wouldn't stay shut.
Yeah, it wouldn't. It just fell constantly, and it's quite heavy.
These have a table.
These have a really good table. They're actually quite stiff, so they stay up. But I think over time they're going to wear, and they might even get corroded because they're metal, aren't
the
they?
other thing's a little Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I've tested that out. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Yeah. But I'm hoping to go on the older train going back, but maybe I'm changing my mind, trying to get on the new train and go back to Sydney, because I've never been to Newcastle. Well, not by train anyway.
Okay.
And I'm not very familiar because I go south, as I said, not north of Sydney. So this is a really nice trip, and I think I might have to go and do it more often.
These non-stop ones are very, very quick. They only stop at the major station.
That's right, yeah.
It's they're about 2.5 hours, and that's a really good transit time to Sydney.
So we should get to Newcastle interchange by about 8 o'clock or before 8 o'clock?
What is it, 5:20? About 7:51, I think.
Yeah, so pretty good.
7:50 there. And then it leaves at, I think, 8:21 to come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And that will be like a new train or an old train?
This one will go back.
Oh, it just terminates?
Yeah. This one goes back at 8:21.
Oh, I think I might have to go on the next new train, which is sort of 11, isn't it, or something?
Oh well, it's hourly. There's 9.
But they're not all new trains, aren't they? Some of them are intercity.
No.
So yeah.
This is a later one. It's 51. See.
Okay.
They started at 1, and these later ones had the modifications made before they came out.
Okay.
The early ones, they've got to have the modifications done here.
Okay.
That's so that the guard can see all the doors, and some doors they couldn't see, which is considered dangerous.
Okay.
And they were hoping that the union would allow driver only, but they won't work driver only outside of Sydney.
Okay.
I mean, Melbourne.
So
you have driver only, but V-Line has driver and a guard conductor. So you have 2, and the union wants 2 on these.
Well, you should never work alone.
Yeah.
Safety first.
Yes.
Even like in retail, you should never have one person rostered on. You should always have another person. Yeah. So what do you think is the good features of this train, and what do you think are the bad features of this train?
This line, probably 90%, maybe more, are daily commuters. They travel every day, like in Sydney. And I think the expectation was that they'd all face the way they're going. Some people travelling backwards makes them feel ill.
Yes, it makes you get vertigo sort of feelings or nausea.
So I think that was the biggest disappointment. The reason they put these in is they don't weigh as much as the reversible ones.
Yeah, of course.
They were able to keep the weight down, but
Yeah.
they had these in the Endeavour version of the Explorer,
Mhm.
and people hated them,
Yeah.
and they pulled them all out and put reversible ones in.
Oh, okay.
But I can't see them changing these unless there's really strong resistance.
Right.
But on the Central Coast there at
This train
peak
will stop
times,
at Morrisett.
Morisset. Okay.
very
so,
full trains.
Yeah. So Morisset is about how far from Newcastle? About an hour, still an hour to go, or half an hour? Oh, not that.
About I don't know whether this is a 6. This is not the set that ran yesterday to the Minister.
Okay.
The intention up here is to run a 4 plus a 6,
Right.
which will give you the same number of seats that's
Yeah.
on the old trains.
Yeah.
But yesterday, the one that they had that was on television and that was 4 plus 4.
I've still got an hour to go. Just watching the time. That's
Yeah.
why I asked how far it is from Morisset or wherever to Newcastle. Yeah. So what do you? I mean, that's a disadvantage or a dislike of the train. So what do you like about the
Did you
train?
see the?
Yes, I did.
It indicates where the bikes. Are.
Yes, I did, and I
Yeah.
checked it out too.
Yeah.
So what do you like about the train rather than what you think is not a?
Well, they're much quieter,
Yeah.
and these ones with the N in their code, these are the ones that have the motors,
Mhm.
and they're heavier and they ride steadier.
Okay.
But I think possibly with the exception of maybe the seating, I think they're a better train. I don't know.
They're quite comfortable, I find.
Yeah.
I did the comfort test because I had a list of things that I wrote down last night. It's like, right, do these kind of observations and tests and see what I
Yeah.
thought. So we've tested out the USB recharge. I've tested out the plug
Yeah.
one as well. I noticed there's these little green arrows down the bottom. Do they mean anything? Are they just for installation or?
Well, I
is
think
there-
that's to the exit.
Yeah.
Maybe the exit.
Oh, it's not to do with the movement of the
Yeah.
seat or anything.
I don't
Okay.
know whether it lights up in an emergency.
I don't think that. Well, they do. Well, they don't light up. I think they've got a sort of a glow in the dark coating on them because you can see it. It
Yeah.
looks like it would glow in the dark.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's probably a good thing. I don't know if they should have put it on the floor or whether they should have put it on the seat. Because if you move the seats, if they decide to move the seats, then they'd have to do something about that. So.
I don't think the backward seats phase people that
Short
use their electronic media
Right.
for entertainment or
Okay.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think the backward seat will phase them. I know
Yeah.
in Britain the seats are like in the Velocity, some this way, some that way, some this way, some that way.
Oh, is that the toilet?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
it's
can
quite
go in.
loud.
There's no one in there. You
No,
can
no,
get
but
in.
it's quite loud, whatever that opening
Oh,
is.
that was just the door shutting.
Yeah, it's quite a loud bang bang.
Same as in the Oscar trains,
I actually haven't been on an Oscar.
the H trains.
I haven't been on an Oscar. I heard there's door problems with the Oscars, some of them.
Oh,
Has that been resolved?
it's about maintenance. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
They're a workhorse, and they flog them to death.
Are they like
when-
the Tangaras? Are they dirty like
Well,
the
they're
Tangaras? Because
they've now realised they've put off
yeah,
the half-life overhaul, and now they're proceeding with that. They've decided to proceed with the half-life overhaul of the Tangara.
all right.
So, but
I love the
some of
Tangaras, but they're very dirty all the time.
Yeah.
They're just filthy on the outside and the inside.
Well,
and I think the
these
Oscars
will
look
be
the same.
Too soon, and they
Yeah.
they don't wash them enough. Years ago, they were washed once a week. They went through a washing machine once a week, but they don't need to do that now.
Oh, how often do they wash them now?
Oh, I think
Once a year?
You're lucky. They'll do the windows, but they don't wash the actual physical outside.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes for
I
a
thought
month.
they put it through a like a car wash, automatic.
Yeah,
They do.
yeah, they have
So wouldn't that be easy just to run all the trains and?
There's one at Flemington, there's one at Hornsby, there's one at Mortdale, and the private depots, there's a couple of private depots where the companies that build the trains have to clean and maintain them. They have a washing machine too at Clyde, I think it is Clyde.
But is it because there's not enough of them that they don't wash them that frequently, or is it a cost factor?
That's what it comes down to.
It's not a cost factor.
They run them into the ground. And,
new housing development. What suburbs is? It's interesting. I'm always looking at new housing estates.
It's buzzed for some reason. I'll just, excuse me.
That's all right. It's probably your call. So between Morisset and whatever the next stop is, it's mainly bushland, but it's interesting. There's an abandoned building. So nothing much out here except housing. There was a McDonald's back there and an abandoned what
The
looked like a
next
pub.
stop is Morisset.
Oh, this is Morisset, so we actually haven't passed Morisset yet. Okay.
This stop is Morisset. Use doors on the left in the direction of travel.
That's an old station building, isn't it?
Morisset, yes.
I like the old buildings. Love these old buildings.
Some of these are heritage listed. They can't be
Yeah, knocked down.
knocked down.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Lake Macquarie is to the east here. As we go down the hill, you can see the rivers running out
Okay.
to Lake Macquarie.
Right.
It's 365 kilometre right round the lake. It's,
Is that like the Hawkesbury area?
uh,
Similar to that, where the track goes
yeah,
around?
the train doesn't get really close to the
Oh,
lake
okay.
itself, but you cross several of the big rivers on the way up.
Oh, okay.
But the train that leaves Newcastle after this one should be an Oscar,
Okay.
but it stops all stations,
Right.
and then an hour after this one at 9:20 there'll be one of those V sets with the purple seats.
A VSAT with a purple. Oh, right. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the one that these are replacing.
Yeah.
And they are building enough of these that they'll also replace the Oscar, and they will take the toilet out of the Oscar and put seats there.
Are they going to make it a normal train? They're
Go
going
to
use.
Sydney.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to
I
go
heard
to-
about that. Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
K-set, the old K-set suburban trains, the silver train, they will come out of service. They will be taken out of service when the
Okay.
Oscars go down there.
I didn't realise that the inner city trains were actually 1970s trains. I thought they were later because they don't look very old.
Yeah, 77 was
Yeah.
the
Before the
they
XPTs.
They got a number target on the front V,
Right.
so the drivers call them V sets.
Oh, okay.
And
right.
these have got a target with G on the front, so the drivers call
D
them
sets.
D sets.
Yeah. You hear that a lot. You hear all the train spotters saying D sets all the
Yeah.
time. And I thought maybe I should rename my YouTube channel to D
Well, they
set.
give them the name, I think Mariam or something like that.
Yeah, I can never
But-
pronounce it. It's
But
a
the
nice name.
drivers don't bother, they just call them D sets.
Yeah, because
if
it's
D
too
on the front
difficult
of it.
to pronounce Marion, because
Yeah.
I was pronouncing it incorrectly, and I didn't even spell it correctly.
Yeah.
I thought I'd looked it up and spelled it correctly, but
Yeah.
it's not. So I did apologise to the First Nations, because it's not nice to get it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a train spotter, by the way, or are you just an amateur?
Yes, but I come from a railway family. Our
Okay.
family, at its height, they had accumulated about just over 300 years of service.
Okay.
One of the Australian Prime Ministers, Ben Chifley,
Yeah. Mhm.
was a driver at Bathurst.
Okay.
And he became Prime Minister when the wartime Prime Minister died.
Mm.
But my mother's eldest brother used to shovel coal on the locomotive for Ben Chifley as a driver.
Okay.
When he was a young fellow, about 18,
Mhm.
and Ben Chifley was still driving trains then. So we go back a long way. And,
Chifley never became the Minister for Transport, did he?
no, he was. I don't know what portfolio he had as Deputy Prime Minister. The wartime Prime Minister threw Australia's lot in with the Americans, because the British were struggling to store a creek that goes down to the
wow. Oh, nice. Okay, I would have missed that. That's good.
lake. Yeah. You know, Wheat-Bix Sanitarium?
Yes, sanitarium. Oh, they used to be based out
They
there?
are up the river.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
a place called Kurrambul.
Oh, do they still exist?
They've been there for 50, 60 years.
So they still
Long
exist, and they're still producing.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of sanitarium products these days. You used to see a lot of them, but
Yeah.
not so much now. They were a competitor to Kellogg's,
Yes. Yeah.
and there was a story behind it. There was a bit of a I don't know what you call it, not a dispute, but yeah.
Kellogg's, their factories
This is a
on
quiet
the railway
station.
line out to
If you
Botany,
need
out
to
to
have
Port Botany,
conversation
Yeah.
or
to
using
the
the
Mascot
device
area,
without headphones,
and the trains
please
pick up
move
the
to
loads
another
from
car.
Kellogg's there to take them to Queensland and to Victoria.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
It's a big, very big factory.
Yeah.
But, now this is, I think they're nice. Personally, because I read on some of my journeys. I didn't bring a book today because I wanted to
Take in the scenery.
take
Yeah.
it all in.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. I actually showed up yesterday at 5:20 at the station at Central, thinking it was going towards, the new train was going towards Newcastle. Turned up, but I asked someone, I said, is it an intercity train? Oh yeah, the first train comes from
the
Newcastle.
Raring Power Station.
Wow. Oh, you are pointing out all the good things for me to take on the video. So I turned up and thought, oh, all the train spotters at Newcastle already.
Oh, yes.
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 And so I thought, I'm going to come back the next day.
Yeah, have a normal trip. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I didn't think I'd make it in time, because I had an appointment. So
Yeah. Well, I do volunteer work in Sydney on Tuesday, so I couldn't.
Oh, what do you volunteer
I
for?
couldn't go up, but
What volunteer work do you do?
I just do data entry for the Australian Railway Historical Society.
Oh, interesting.
See, there's a lot of photographs come in. Some of them are deceased estates and the families pass them
Okay.
in,
Yeah.
and there's not much information. So they need old buffheads like me that can look at it and say, oh, that's a such and such. It might have been taken in the 1950s or
Wow.
early 60s, and older people can remember it. So I go down, I do a day every Tuesday,
Oh, that's very interesting.
and goes in just identification and then put it in the database.
That's great.
This is a famous climb up here from That's
Okay.
what they call Hawk Mount.
Okay.
Mount Eagle Hawk. And it was always, the steam trains were always very slow coming up here. But these trains just whiz up.
Are you talking slow like Puffing Billy?
Now we're on top,
Yes.
and you'll see a line here going down to the power station to take
Okay.
coal. It'll be on that side.
Oh, is it?
You'll see
It's a
the
line,
power
is it?
station.
Oh, okay. I'll keep looking.
They take
Oh,
the-
there. Okay.
Yeah, they take the coal down that to the power station.
So that's actually a working line.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
On this
interesting.
side here, we're now entering an area that's never been touched. It's mining lease.
Mhm.
This train
And,
will
and,
stop
and as a
at
result, it's
Bedford.
one of the most natural parts of forest that we've got. And if you look in places, you'll see the symbol of New South Wales, the Waratah. Probably a little bit lower down.
Oh, you probably won't. I won't get it. Will I from here?
The last time I was up here a month or so ago, they were beautiful. Very tall stalk with a big
Oh,
red
yeah.
bloom on top.
Yeah.
It's the symbol of New South Wales.
I actually haven't seen one in real life. I think I've seen photos and
It's
things.
never been touched here. It's virgin bush. Oh, there's some in there, but they've colour's gone off them.
Were they the little black things that I saw?
Yeah, there's a little there. See them? Those
Ah,
tall
yes,
stalky
yes.
things, but they've lost their colour.
Okay.
Here's more.
Is it not the season for
month
them?
ago, they were bright red.
Oh, I'll have to come back
But
earlier.
they
then
are
and
the
have
symbol
a
of
look.
New South Wales.
Yeah.
They were spectacular.
There's a bit of colour on that one, but not
Yeah.
much.
They've gone. I don't know whether the heat has turned.
Probably.
Turned
It
them off.
looks like they're kind of
Yeah.
dried out. So. Do you ever get any wildlife in this area? Like kangaroos or wombats?
Oh
or
yes,
anything?
yes. You see them on going to Sydney too.
I've seen kangaroos everywhere.
Yeah, up above Hawkesbury River, there's wallabies, bush rock wallabies up there.
Yeah.
And they quite often sit there between the tunnels, and they look like little train spotters. They're sitting there watching the train go.
I think they're like the ones near out near Caroline Springs or somewhere. There's a patch there where they have wallabies, and I think they're waiting for the train.
Yeah. But this is virgin. Look at the lovely.
Yeah, it's really green.
And the ground. See these.
Yeah.
It's never been touched. This is original forest that Aboriginal people would have hunted in. But all these ground.
The ticket inspectors are
Oh,
coming.
okay.
I'm just going to pause this video